Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first podcast of the Cats Connections news for the 2024 through 2025 school year. And now for our first issue of the year, issue 39, September 26, 2024. Please bear with us, as this is our first podcast this year, and some of us are a little bit rusty, while the rest of us just hasn't done this before in our lives. And also, it's homecoming week, and we are filming this. So, if we look goofy, is probably why, or that's probably why.
Page 1, our cover stories. Homecoming by Lily Meyer and Jack Bursch. The Homecoming Parade is an annual tradition that brings us our small community together. This year, our school and town parade were combined due to the fact that the school parade has been rained out for the last couple of times. Our high school band also played in the parade. The Homecoming Carnival was opened on Friday, August 30th, the day before the parade. This year's Homecoming Parade was a great one. Everyone who was in the parade had just as much fun as those who were watching it. This great parade makes us excited for next year's. This homecoming had carnival rides, Queen of Hearts, carnival foods, bingo, and more. The parade started by the school and ended at Neiman Park, where the carnival is hosted. Homecoming was Friday, August 30th through Sunday, September 1st. Homecoming was a great success this year. Everyone loved the food, drinks, carnival attractions, and music played by local bands. It was a great year for the homecoming, and we can't wait for next year. Sunrise of a Century by Peaky. I hope everyone has had an enjoyable summer break, and for those of you who have also just started school, I hope you have a wonderful school year, as we also trying to get back in the swing of things. The senior class here at Mount Olive High School held a special event for the seniors on the first day back to school. The Senior Sunrise was an event that happened early in the morning on our first day back. Everyone who attended was asked to bring a blanket and to wear their most comfortable clothing. Most of the senior class came to the event and had a great time reuniting with peers who they haven't seen all summer. Mrs. Budich and Mrs. Davis, the senior class sponsors here at Mount Olive High School, brought donuts, breakfast casserole, hot chocolate, and juice. I hope all of the seniors enjoyed the sunrise that Wednesday morning.
Insight into the Mount Olive Firehouse, an interview with Chief Nowell by Julian Douglas and Vela Harmon. Our local fire chief, Donnie Nowell, came into our journalism classroom this past week for a lovely interview. We learned so much about him and about being a volunteer firefighter. Mr. Nowell grew up in Mount Olive, graduating from Mount Olive High School before attending Rankin Technical College. After graduating, he made his home here in Mount Olive. He has been a firefighter for the past 35 years and chief for the past 14. When he was younger, he would hear the sirens that would alert all the firefighters to respond, and he and his friends would ride their bikes past the station to see what was going on. He remembers seeing his neighbor, Fred, who was also a firefighter, drive by and honk his horn to tell his wife that there was a call. This always reminded Mr. Nowell of how the Norman Rockwell painting, the firefighter driving down the street. When Mr. Nowell was finishing up his studies at Rankin, he recalled reading an article in Mount Olive Herald discussing the need for volunteers. So he contacted a firefighter he knew, Greg. He was told by Greg that he had to be 19 to join up. At the time, he was only 18, but his desire to volunteer inspired the department to organize a junior firefighter program. Ironically, by the time the paperwork, new bylaws, and red tape were all taken care of, Mr. Nowell was already old enough to volunteer as a full member. But that program, which he inspired for junior firefighters, still exists today, and there are currently several members of it as of right now. Chief Donnie Nowell's motivation for being a firefighter is making a difference for those of the lives of the community, also along the friendships he's made along the way. He feels honored to be a chief of so many capable firefighters and recognizes that being chief also means that he's responsible for the safety of each and every firefighter and the actions of while they are on the job, as well as the duty for the safety of our community. Many of the students were curious about how one becomes a firefighter. We learned that in the Mount Olive Fire Department offers in-house training. Some of the training requirements to become a firefighter are SCBA training, learning ladders and hose lines, as well as standard safety and basic EMS training. We also learned about the technical and business sides of the fire department. The Mount Olive Fire Department District is governed by a 5-person board and is served by the Mount Olive Volunteer Fire Department, including 27 volunteer firefighters and 6 junior firefighters. The fire department organizational structure on the business side consists of a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, along with a trusted at-large member. While on the operations side, there's Chief Fire Nowell, 2 assistant chiefs, and 4 captains, along with the training officer and safety officer, and of course all of our volunteer firefighters. Fire Chief Nowell explained that there is now a $500 state tax credit for volunteer firefighters. So beyond the desire to serve the community community that might be a nice little incentive as well to volunteer. For more information about becoming a firefighter with the Mount Olive Fire Department, you can call the Mount Olive Fire Station at 217-999-2039, leave a message on their Facebook page, or even email them at themountaolivefd@yahoo.com. They accept applications all year long and interview candidates from December through January and July through August. If accepted, volunteers can come into service in August and February, respectively. We deeply appreciate Fire Chief Nowell for taking the time out of his day to come down and be interviewed by our students. To see his full interview, check out the Cats Connection YouTube channel.
Good afternoon. We're having heavy rains in the central region of Illinois tonight, around 5 p.m. Good news. New swings by Zach Rivera. Zach is hoping to do a column this year covering something great happening at our Mount Olive grade school. The grade school is getting a new playground put in. The Academic Foundation donated $15,000 after Principal Scheller requested a grant to give the kids an even better playground because of the safety issue that the previous one had since it was getting a bit dated. Principal Scheller says this will be a benefit, stating they're already excited for the new slides. Even the teachers and the parents love it. She believes that the new park will help the students' academics by having them unwind in their downtime.
And now for page 2, Arts and Entertainment. Senior Moments, Lexi Crosno and Gabby McClanahan by Lily Meyer and Peaky. In this segment, our team decided to interview 2 of our seniors, Lexi Crosno and Gabby McClanahan. We all are thrilled we were able to do so. Both let us film our interviews, and you can watch the full interview on our YouTube channel, Cats Connection. In this interview, we talked to Lexi about her early years in our school and the good and bad times in her high school experience. We asked her everything from the best moments to what classes she wished she could take again. From her past to the plans she has for the future. She told us that she wanted to get a job in sonography, and she was more than happy to explain what this job entails. Sonographers work with X-rays and ultrasounds. They also work with blood and the systems that work with it. She told us and opened up to us about some of her hard times in high school and about her good times as well. We are so happy that we have talked with her, and we are excited to see how she grows over this year. Our second interview, senior interview, features Gabby McClanahan. Gabby plans on going to college, her eyes set particularly on Mizzou. She wants to go to college to be an art teacher, since art has been one of her biggest passions in her life. Gabby's favorite classes here at Mount Olive High School are all of Lesko's English classes and all of Close's art classes. A few of her favorite memories are from post-prom and the annual high school play. She forgot one of her lines one time during an act in the play, but one of our former actors at the time helped her remember it. She now only does backstage stuff for the play. Gabby would like to tell upcoming high schoolers to just be themselves. Thanks so much for being interviewed, you two. Artist of the Month, Zach Riviera, by Addie Ulrich. Am I close? No? Ulrich? Ulrich. Artist of the Month, Zach Riviera, by Addie Ulrich. This month, we interviewed Zach Riviera, a senior here at Mount Olive High School, in our latest Artist of the Month. At the start of the interview, we asked him how he got into art, in which he stated that he had done art all his life, but started taking it more seriously at about 10 years old. At a young age, Zach's grandpa used to carve intricate designs and sculptures out of wood and would later have Zach paint them. However, later on in the interview, Zach claims that he hates paint and prefers traditional paper and pencil. Later on in the interview, we also come to find out that his biggest inspiration is his grandfather, with one of his favorite pieces being tied to him. About 5 years ago, Zach drew a picture of Ray Charles. Zach hated it. However, his grandpa fell in love with it, which caused Zach to love it just as much. One of Zach's latest drawings was a picture of a Native American, which was drawn for his grandpa. Moreover, Zach would like to keep art as more of a hobby throughout his life and pursue a different career at the same time. We're glad to have interviewed Zach as our Artist of the Month. We're also excited to have him in journalism. Next, we have our Musician of the Month, Kyle Bone, written by Peaky. This month's Musician of the Month is Kyle Bone. Kyle agreed to do an in-person video interview with one of our fellow journalists, Lily Meyer. Kyle is one of our fellow trumpet players here at Monolith High School. He first started off with the percussion drums, but he found out shortly that it wasn't his instrument. Kyle stated that it was around 8th grade year when his spark for the trumpet came about. He also explained that he has tried out the flugelhorn, and that the difference between the flugelhorn and the trumpet is that the flugelhorn has a smokier tone compared to the trumpet. Kyle has also tried out the clarinet, but it ended up not being his thing. Kyle wanted to send a thank you to Mr. Harmon, our former band teacher. Kyle plans to make a career with his skill with his trumpet. He wants to try to get his teaching degree, and he stated that he would gladly come back to Monolith to teach band. Thanks for being our Musician of the Month, Kyle.
All right, start of football season by Landon Tooley. The Litchfield/Mount Olive Co-op football team has started off their season with the annual purple and white game and with a win. The first conference game that they played in against the Carnival, which has been put off due to the rain and storm delays. The score for the Carnival game turned out to be 12-37 with our co-op team losing. The only other game played was played on the Litchfield football field. Our team won against Southwestern with impressive score of 30-6. In the Southwestern game, one of our Mount Olive athletes, Matt Bywater, had 85 receiving yards with 5 catches. This 2024 through 2025 season is Matt's first time playing football. Even though he started playing football late as a junior, it seems like he is going to be a great addition to our team. We will be wanting to use next year. There will be 3 home games in October against Gillespie. The Staunton/Bunker Hill Co-op and Vandalia. We hope that you will head on to the Litchfield to see some of our greatest Mount Olive players on the field. So come on out, folks, and support our Panther Cats. Let's have another safe and fun season of football.
Wildcats Volleyball by Carly Cox. The volleyball season for the 24-25 school year recently started. I'm just going the wrong way. The first games were on the August 27th as they started the season with a tournament. Their overall record is 3-6 and their conference record is 1-2. Naya, a foreign exchange student this year, recently got her first spike ever as she's never played volleyball before and got a kill out of it. Bella, a junior at Mount Olive High School, is the most digs on the team, averaging a 3.3 digs per set, and her total digs for the entire high school career is 66. Lauren Bailey was our MVP of the month, averages at 2.4 kills per set. She has aspirations to have another record-setting year. This year we have 3 seniors on the team. Ellie Barrowman, Sammy Roski, Lily Ann Reednor. We are looking forward to have a great senior year of volleyball for them, especially as the juniors backing them are all great veterans of the sport too. Good luck, Cats.
Our next article here is The Wildcats Golf Season Heats Up by Landon Tooley. The Mount Olive High School golf team has got off to a rough start this season, shooting pretty high numbers in the first few meets with the boys averaging low 50s in the first meet. The girls, however, have been doing rather well. The boys placed third in the MSM Conference Championship in Auburn, beating Springfield Lutheran High School. Max Graytock shot a 50 and took second place, and Tori Schultz took first with the 53 in a meet on Saturday, August 31st at Terry Park. Coach Richard Hansen and Coach Brandon Friezo can often be seen riding or walking around at meets, coaching the players and keeping them hydrated in the hot summer weather. The golf team has a handful of meets left in the season going into October, and we wish them luck in every single one. We're very excited to have some great golf coverage this year as well as some wonderful photos. A special thanks to Mrs. Lucan for this particular photo of the team. MVP of the Month by Emma Berkman. One of our journalists, Landon Tooley, interviewed Lauren Bailey as MVP of the Month. Lauren is a junior at Mount Olive High School and she plays volleyball. Lauren started playing volleyball when she was in 6th grade, and to this day she is one of the best players on the team. Her position is outside hitter. She also plays middle back sometimes. For the 2023-24 season, she got about 130 kills. Lauren plans on reaching more goals during the 24-25 season, but she set a reasonable goal to reach 140 kills or higher. One of Lauren's favorite things is when Charlie Bono sets the ball and Lauren spikes it and gets a kill. Lauren loves playing volleyball because she plays with her friends and she loves her coach, Miss Megan Skinner. Check out the full interview on our YouTube.
And now, page 4 interviews and editorials. Fundraiser for Amy Fitzwater by Kaylin Wall. Amy Fitzwater is an amazing member of the Beneld community. She works at Randy's Market and always has a smile on her face. Recently, she was diagnosed with a multitude of different cancers, such as brain, lung, and breast cancer. The Beneld community and her coworkers at Randy's Market are hosting a fundraising event for her on October 12th at Randy's Market in Beneld. There will be a bake sale, silent auction, and raffles. We hope you can send some love and prayers her way, and if you can, stop by the fundraiser. We know as a small town with lots of compassion and kindness, we can help Amy raise enough money for the treatment that she needs. So please stop on by Randy's Market on Saturday, October 12th, and show your support. And now for the freshman interview with Tanner Milkovich by Carly Cox. As we are transitioning into the 2024-2025 school year, we decided to interview the incoming freshmen. For our first interview, we interviewed Tanner Milkovich. The big question on everyone's mind is about the transition from junior high to high school, which Tanner suggested has been we get a little bit more respect and the classes seem to be more fun. Something Tanner is looking forward to this school year is sports. He is really looking forward to being on the same team again with older students he played with in middle school. We had also asked about what he misses most in junior high, but he had no comment. Finally, we asked what he is enjoying most about the school year, and he mentioned that his favorite thing so far is the fact that the teachers have more respect for the students and connect with them on a more personal level. Our next interview is welcoming new faculty with Mr. Bryant by Asher Odell. Mr. James Bryant is our new PE teacher at Mount Olive High School. He coaches middle school baseball and is going to be the assistant boys basketball coach. He grew up in Litchfield and currently resides there. His old job was in finance, but he decided to go into education. He said, "I just always felt like it would be a fun career, and I also remember some of the teachers who influenced me and motivated me, and I just want to be able to do that for students myself." He graduated from Illinois State. He then went to Greenville University to get his teaching degree. He helped the coach at Greenville University, and he coached his nephew's Little League baseball team. Mr. Bryant has played sports all of his life. He chose Mount Olive because he wanted to stay local. According to Mr. Bryant, the staff has been helpful, and the students so far have been great. We hope that he has a good first year at Mount Olive and feel like he is a teacher who motivates and positively influences its students, emulating his great former teachers.
And now for our new student interview with Naya Keldson by Carly Cox. One of our journalists, Jack Bursch, interviewed Naya Keldson, who is a new student at Mount Olive High School. Naya is actually a foreign exchange student from Denmark. She is a junior this year, and she will be in America for 10 months. Naya is currently involved in our school's volleyball team. To start off the interview, Jack asked Naya what the weather is like over in Denmark, to which she said that it is a lot colder than here in the U.S. One difference she mentioned between her school back home and our school here is that they don't change classrooms every period. Naya said it's the teachers that switch rooms, not the students. Another difference she noted are the school's lunches. She said the lunches in Denmark are much healthier than they are here. They also do not have spirit days there, which is strange because we're having our homecoming right now and all of our spirit days, and that's just not a thing apparently in Denmark or in Spain. Naya said that it has been rather difficult for her here since she isn't rather fluent in English and doesn't have a very large vocabulary yet. So far, Naya loves Mount Olive, and she does plan on visiting in the future. What inspired Naya to be a foreign exchange student was when she saw a YouTube video a few years ago where a foreign exchange student vlogged her experience, which inspired her to want to experience it for herself. Check out Naya's full interview on our YouTube channel. And now for the Staff of the Month. And our Staff of the Month member this month is Mrs. Close. This article is by Asher Odell. This issue, we asked students to vote who they thought would be deserving of the title Staff of the Month, and the majority of them said Mrs. Heather Close. She is our high school's art teacher, and many students look up to her as their favorite teacher. She has been teaching art at Mount Olive for 24 years. One of Mrs. Close's favorite hobbies is painting. She loves to paint in her free time, and it is one of her favorite mediums of art to teach. The students in her art classes feel very connected to Mrs. Close, many of them mentioning that they can talk to her anytime they need help or are just struggling in general. She says that this is a part of how she establishes a great culture in her classroom. I chat with my kids all the time, when they're working, when they're not working, when they're hanging out by my desk, when I see them in the hallway, or even when I see them outside of school. She went to BAC college, even helping teach her peers while she was there. She then went to SIU as an art education major and discovered that she loved teaching. If I'm not going to teach art, I probably don't want to teach at all, she says. While she was in college, she worked as a pharmacy technician. For 3 years, she had also worked at an art studio that refurbished statues and painted murals for churches. Currently, she is studying for a master's in social emotional learning. It is obvious to us all that teaching is not all sunshine and rainbows, but Mrs. Close tries to keep the vibe in her room positive. Sometimes it is just really hard to be creative when your mind is not in the right or when you're not feeling well. So you see the signs in my classroom are all about positive vibes. And that's it for the Cats Connection News this issue. We'll see you all again next month. Thanks for watching.